was the biggest question mark. You bring in a tank, it's very uncommon to see a tank swap to that DPS to pick up the Symmetra to try and fit into the mold that is being created in this meta. And then going off meta is the Reaper from Sunjun that we saw against Falcons.
Yeah, that was a very strange comp actually. That Reaper comp with the Moira. Wasn't a big fan. We'll see if they do rock it here. Of course, Lijiang Tower is going to be the map. I know Jake wasn't a big fan either of the Moira. Pretty easy to kind of tag out, especially if you're against a Tracer. Tracer just shoots you till you fade and then runs you down after that. Moira, a little bit of like defensive countermeasure, sure, with the orb and the right click, but yeah, not against a world-class Tracer. Roll out the gate. It's going to be Sunjun on the Reaper, Milgaru on the Ram, and it's going to be versing Mauga for Vestola.
Don't see that every day, but Vestola's trying to just ram down this backline, and then you don't mirror the Symmetra, you go for the Venture to try and dive past the defenses and destabilize the Symmetra. I like this look out of JWU. He's usually a flanker specialist, so this will fit his playstyle.
Well, indeed, it's going to be a good angle here for AD on this high ground. Good early pick, though, onto JWU. Call without cooldowns, good stop in the backline, though, and AD instantly dealt with. Vestola picks up a big kill, same with Shockwave, sniping Marker cross map. Virtus.pro now taking over the game. Shockwave has always been the big consistent DPS for the team, as Flames 3 already. Looking clean with it, and he's really what you have to rely on when I spoke about veterancy earlier on. I mean, Marker, technically an Overwatch League winner back on the Florida Mayhem, spent a lot of time on the bench, had a little bit of play time, but still was surrounded by players like someone who now is on Falcons.
And Shockwave is the GOAT, but he's also going to have the edge in this battle. He already has the first pick off the Kiriko, but the Sojourn's going to be at the range. Sunjun is going to struggle trying to close the gap. The Reaper is going to be best at close range. Sunjun is trying to teleport. It isn't able to access. Even if he gets close to Shockwave, you're saving your jump for that Reaper.
Really early rush there, but AD like insta-snipes Fixer. Stomp doesn't quite connect, but Shockwave is going to find an off angle. 15% towards this overclock, but won't need it. I mean, this is a slaughter right now. It's VP rolling over AG.
20% of difference between the Kitsune rushes made all the difference in that fight, along with Gala just getting that first pick, and AG still felt like they wanted to try and fight for server. And that's going to be, I guess, the boon running this Reaper at close range in the server side. But what are they going to do beyond that? They are able to zone out Virtus.pro, but Vestola can take it back. There's the teleport.
Yeah, he's trying to turn the tides now, but instantly booped away at 30 HP and only a mini to heal him up currently. Might have been a little bit of danger. Shockwave tried to slide away, but a perfectly placed Ravenous Vortex by Milgaru brings him back down, and that is a big difference. If Shockwave gets that high ground with the overclock, that could have been a very different fight, but AG eventually get a cap.
Yeah, Sunjun being able to link up with the supports is important. They played this with Moira last time, but it was because the Kiriko was banned, and now on their signature backline, this is going to help AG to defend with the Death Blossom. Got to watch out for Sunjun and what he can create, and especially AD at range. He has his ult too.
Taking free space, though. They've been allowed to walk through the door. Vestola on the Mega Health Pack quickly ate that one up, but dealt with pretty easily by the Ram. And now AG in a very good spot. They've got Overclock, they've got the Death Blossom and the Annihilation. The stall potential here on this door is massive, but they've got to be careful of this cage.
Yeah, JWU, it's not going to be easy to find a pulse bomb target when the Reaper can just wraith away and AD can jump away. So maybe you're just trying to shred this tank, and Milgaru could be in trouble. He's already blocking and he's caged in.
Yeah, he's caged in. Pulse bomb could be thrown in as well if he really wanted to, but Annihilation is going to make sure Milgaru stays alive. Scared of A's overclock are Virtus.pro as they end up backing off. They know one player right now is behind them, so it's a 5v4 in the front line. JWU's going to try and contest the point, forcing AG to try and touch. That's a very aggressive push from Vestola and gets sniped by AD. JWU finds a one clip onto Lee Soo Min, but super low, has to back up to that Mega Health Pack. And AG, what do they decide? Are they going to hold that choke? Doesn't look like it. They need reinforcements near server.
Yeah, Kitsune Rush is going to be available, and that's going to help reunite the forces of Virtus.pro to try and flip this. The driver's seat now for AG.AL. They are in control.
Nice TP away from Gala there. Hasn't got the second Swift Step perk, but it doesn't seem to matter at all. Virtus.pro once again, Lemon back-to-back fights where you have a rush advantage. And Marca now, this is going to be their final shot here at this point, as AG have also been holding on to this Death Blossom for basically the entire round.
He's going into the best place for that Death Blossom, and with the Kitsune Rush, this Reaper is going to shred through Vestola. He has to be careful. He needs to keep himself at range. He's going to have better range than the Reaper, but Wash Sunjun is going to come down like a helicopter. I
mean, but they know where he is the problem. Forced a Wraithwalk already. Is currently sitting on the rush, but Virtus.pro have made a decent escape, but chasing Vestola. Gala preoccupied with the rest of AG and Sunjun. Hit him where it hurts. Death Blossom in the back. A 99% flip now as Virtus.pro managed to sneak away a couple of percent.
Fixa has to stick by Vestola's side to get him away from this Reaper. He's just getting outsped, and Fixa will have the sound barrier at least, and now it's last fight for Control Center. They're
looking for Fixa too. Fixa on the high ground right now is 3%, but Lee Soo-min is right on top of him. They need someone to touch. Virtus.pro have got to get there, but they can't.
Fixa, a little bit delayed there. Could have dropped, had the sound barrier, just wasn't sure if someone was around the corner to maybe blink in. Maybe he was looking for Jaebu to do that, a miscomm, which would have been a good final fight for Fixa's team to get into, but 100-99 now. This is going to heat up to be a good series.
Yeah, Lee Soo-min with large brain tracking of where the other Lucio is going to be. Fixa had that sound barrier too, like you pointed out. Got booped away once, tried to go for the re-engage, and that hitbox for the point as well. It's a lot lower than sometimes you'd think, so even jumping out of the window sometimes won't even trigger the OT. Quick teleports out for Sunjun and Jaewu. Straight back over to the Reaper Tracer.
I think this is going to be even stronger for the Reaper. This point is a lot more enclosed and lots of good hiding places to circle around the point. Sometimes it's even better to not play inside of the point, but rather on the perimeter and trap everyone into open space. But this first fight, very important.
AG have a very good position right now. Boy's taking the little garden square. Milgaru, I think, is just hiding in the corner. Doesn't look like Virtus.pro spotted him just yet. Jaewu just being as annoying as possible. Nice little cleanse, getting him away from the slow as Vestola bites the dust. Shockwave tags Lee Soo-min with a body shot, but has to retreat.
Yeah, Virtus.pro focused on just trying to get Jaewu into position. He's back hallways, but lost Mega Pack control, had to go back towards spawn. It's a lot of tempo gone for Virtus.pro, allowing AG to cap, and again, being able to defend with Reaper at close range, which I guess Sunjun is not going to even want to play on the point. He has to be careful. He's already used Wraith. Will be able to teleport out, but he's just after Shockwave.
Whoa, Fixa took a full damage left click from the Reaper to the dome, and yeah, he'd finished that kill easy peasy.
Sunjun has just been so well supported by Maka and Lee Soo-min, but Maka is still respawning, will be able to TP in. Virtus.pro will have Kitsune Rush advantage just by a little bit, and this could help propel them into a fight win.
Yeah, Gala always outpacing Maka by about 10-15% or so. You're doing a lot more healing if you're kind of getting out of the choke point to be fair. Vestola pops the Nemesis form already. It's going to be a better one for Milgaru, and has the Annihilation too. Vestola, by the way, almost completely alone, although using that rush to its full effect now on the points. Nemesis form and the Annihilation from Milgaru, a clean Shockwave, and Sunjun ends up getting shut down. Virtus.pro with a two-pronged approach there onto the point, get the cap.
That was almost scary though. Virtus.pro Kitsune Rush and prioritize capping the point while Milgaru counter-engaged with the Annihilation when after the backline of Virtus.pro that got separated. So that could have been hectic, was saved by Gala in the end. Now you get to defend with the sound barrier, but Kitsune Rush, we'll see how this is exchanged.
Very nice outwards push. There's almost no chance for Virtus.pro to react there if they wanted to hold on that choke point. Oh wow, Lee Soo-min just got one clip by Jaewu by the looks of it. Pulse bomb thrown out onto the ground. Age slides away and snipes it mid-air too. I mean, that Death Blossom, a little sad if I'm going to be honest with you, Sunjun. Everybody had already escaped throughout those doors, and no one really in his line of sight or in his range at the very least. Both Annihilations now, or a single Annihilation from Vestola is going to be able to hold the point, but the sound barrier from Lee Soo-min is AG try and flip this point, but Shockwave's just going to shut him down.
Big DPS gap at the end from Virtus.pro. It started for AG and Sunju on control center. They slipped by 100 to 99. Virtus.pro cut off the rotations from AG going around the perimeter, and that's what caused awkwardness with the Kitsune rush and Lee Soo-min dying while he had sound barrier. And then you lose the fight once that sound barrier did come out. So Virtus.pro will be ahead in this, not only in the score, but with a support ult advantage.
Looks like Virtus.pro happy to play on the point. Baiting AG in. They're just buying the time now. Just trying to run down this clock. Sunjun gets briefly booped, but there is the rush out onto the little market. Oh, good snipe from Shockwave. Yeah, dealt handily. There, Sunjun unfortunately goes down for the side of AG. Should just be a kind of a roll now. No chance for them to come back. That support ult advantage, like you mentioned, from Virtus.pro. Well, they're happy about that. That is a round on the board. 100 to 49 as we go to round 3.
A lot more one-sided. Shockwave just took over that round in the end, and AG just could not keep up. He got rid of the Reaper because this game got so fast, so quick. So Sunju need to find a way to try and pressure not only Shockwave, because he kind of needed to help out 8 there, and Sunjun now a lot more versatile in the Tracer, having more mobility, and obviously a better ultimate, which is ultimately, this was a DPS gap in favor of Virtus.pro. Round 3, we'll end it on Gardens. A lot more of an open side. We're not seeing Milgaru want to go to the Hammond as a result, so this is going to be the Juno edition instead of the Kiriko, though.
Might just be the speed ring out.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed boost and speed ring. Get maximum velocity to get to the point first, although pretty similar. Sunjun now off the Reaper. Tracer trying to match Jaewoo. Jaewoo's already found a kill. I like that Johnny brought up on the desk that Jaewoo has really been a superstar. Like a legend in the making, in all honesty. Has just crashed onto the scene and just honestly made a lot of the DPS players in EMEA shiver a little bit, it felt like. Virtus.pro going to get the first cap.
Very interesting backline for Gala and Fixa, because Gala started as a main support, was like a great Lucio, and now developed his flex support once he separated away from Canale. Fixa took over the Lucio role, and he saw just how important he was at denying that window entry from AG, but now at a distance, the Sojourns have to be the difference maker.
Sunjun on an off angle right now. Begging Jaewoo to look at him. Same with Lee Soo-min, so it's a kind of a tag team effort. They forced the recall actually, now it's go time for Sunjun. Gets his recall forced, but Fix is in trouble. Ends up going pretty low, but Sunjun has to back off as well. 99 HP, picks up the mega health pack. As AG try and move on the point. Milgaru just in the 1v1 versus Vestola, but Marker gets the first kill in the fight. Shockwave dead, AID to follow. But now it's all on Jaewoo. What a better player to rely on here. Sunjun's going to do one better though and take down Gala. Jaewoo trying to find out. Trying to go for the stick on the Tracer. I like where you were going with that one, but Sunjun smacks you upside the head and finds a triple in the fight on the Tracer.
Yeah, Sunjun's been trying to help out AID by not only keeping Jaewoo in check, but the trade backlines. This is a pretty good mirror matchup between Jaewoo and Sunjun. Sunjun coming in the Overwatch League as that flanker specialist to fill in some big shoes. And now he has to stand up against Jaewoo, a much loved and much looked at Korean import for the Virtus.pro side. But Kitsune Rush exchange, White Room being fought over, and AG are trying to deny that early.
Oh, bomb on the wall. Sunjun just disappears there, hits that recall pretty early. Both rushes already been used, but Gala he's in trouble. Has to teleport away using that swift step. Sound barrier from AG. Same with Fixer. They're just getting ripped through though. These annihilations. They just turn that overhealth into just mincemeat. Sunjun and AID picking up kills, and yeah, Virtus.pro short. Got the cap there, but it's all good. AG on top. They've saved their overclock. So it's all on Shockwave and AID. Two legendary Sojourns here.
Huge fight for AG to win after Kitsune Rush, Barrier, Annihilation, everything's on the table to come out on top. Now it's going to be the overclock, and AID has gotten important picks before. Now it's about shredding down that tank, so Virtus.pro have no space to hold without that anchor, and Vestola has to block away. Good time being created by AG as they're about to take a lead.
No casualties though on the side of Virtus.pro as Shockwave finds an opening onto Sunjun. And now pops the overclock, demanding a response. Booped away briefly there by Lee Soo-min, but look at the health bars of AG right now, trickling away. Nothing Marker can do to heal the flankers. As eventually Virtus.pro, they gain control of this point with a team kill.
That got so chaotic. EG were being chased around and everyone was low, and Maka just had to decide who was his favorite, trying to save Lucio Min, which was a priority to keep everyone grouped up, but ultimately AG got divided and conquered. So Virtus.pro in the lead. Round 3. This is going to be deciding map 1 with JWoo Pulse Bomb hasn't connected yet. Kitsune Rush could also define how this fight breaks down.
JWoo once again checking Sonjin on the flank as Shockwave. Yet, like, how many first bloods has this guy got? Maka down and now no chance for a rush potentially. Virtus.pro can put pedal to the metal. Note that the healing resources are cut to a minimum as AG find aid all on his lonesome. They're just bum rushing 4 players, dive onto Sojin without a dash, and Lee Soo Min touches the point, pulse bomb on the floor. They don't need it. That's going to be all over. Heroics required from Sonjin, but not even sure Zeus could do this one, to be honest with you. Virtus.pro, they're going to run over AG. Shockwave time and time again on this Sojin, finding these opening picks as Virtus.pro, they're going to claim map 1.
Shockwave has been the hit scan to watch. He stood out against AD, but it's not just about who can aim better, but the tracers and who they're prioritizing. To be making AD so uncomfortable was such an important role for JWoo. Did a fantastic job at silencing the other Sojourn so that Shockwave could focus on picks and keep the spacing, keep his jump until the moment mattered. And getting those picks on Maka, like you said, was everything. And Gala was able to add on to that equation. So very good win out of Virtus.pro.
Moving to map number 2, we'll see if Ice just present themselves on the stage, or we see JWoo sticking in the lineup. Both coaches now just deliberating. Choosing the map, choosing the bands. Of course, it'll be AG to select this next map, Lemon.
Yeah, they've chosen Circuit, they've chosen New Junk City. You could maybe expect a Midtown. Midtown they've chosen twice in playoffs, but they'll have some time to think about it after this break.
Level up your gaming experience with over 8 billion playlists, only on Spotify, the official audio streaming partner for the 2025 Esports World Cup.
What's up, everybody? My name is George, joined by Reflections here at the PUBG Mobile stage. I took a small break from Overwatch 2 to kind of see what's going down here, because we've got a few teams up in top of the club rankings right now, Team Falcons being one of them, and I wanted to know the lowdown over here.
Well, without a doubt, PUBG Mobile's been incredible. PMWC is well underway. It's been 2 stages. We're now on our 3rd and final stage for Grand Finals. This is only day 1, and all eyes have to be on Falcons, especially for the club championship race. They are the returning champions after all, so winning points here would be huge because, to my knowledge, they're not in first place, which is polar opposite of where they were last year.
Yeah, Falcons are a big deal in Overwatch 2. They are always vying for that first seed. Crazy Raccoons actually took it last year, but Falcons, they look so clean. So, hey, if they pick up a win in PUBG Mobile and then a win in Overwatch, that might be a rank 1 slot.
I think it put them up in first place, but there are other rosters looking to take them down. Power Esports, for example, Al-Haji's father is out there in the crowd. He's pumping them up. They're looking to go all the way. Alter Egos have picked up fans not only in the arena, but also internationally with their performance. A big surprise coming from them. And the big news is Alpha 7 from Brazil, they're out, which opens up the possibility for other orgs to earn those club championship points.
Hey guys, it's Lemon Kiwi from Overwatch, and I went exploring. I found a Turner from the MLBB stage. Yeah. I need to get a scoop on the club championships. Who's at the top, who's left?
Things are quite interesting. We're already at top 4, so I think if we're taking a look at like the top 4 from the club championship, we do see that TLPH, so Team Liquid, are definitely in the running to make it to the grand finals and perhaps maybe even potentially picking up the championship.
That would help them out a lot in the standings. We have Team Liquid over in Overwatch. We also have Falcons, AG, a lot of teams still at the top of the championship. It's going to get really hectic. Go and check out MLBB and also Overwatch today, and we'll see you soon.
What's up, everybody? Danny Lim here over at the chess side, and we have a big update. We got Mike, the chess expert. Mike, please give us an update. I know today is a big day for you guys.
Yeah, last night we had El Chessico, #1 versus #2.
I love the name, okay.
It went all the way to the end Armageddon match. Magnus Carlsen just barely squeaked past Hikaru Nakamura, and then the grand finals today, which is going to be Alireza Farouja of Team Falcons against Team Liquid. Magnus has to face Alireza.
All right, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the club championship. What are the implications that have to do with the grand finals for chess?
Well, Team Falcons, as you know, is defending their title. They were trailing this week. They've now taken the lead in the club championship.
Right.
And because they are facing Team Vitality, all their chess players are out. It's not a matter of how much they will lead. It's really a matter of, like, are they going to, how much padding they're going to have after this. And it's much more of a fight than last year, though. The standings are very close.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good and exciting for chess, and also for Overwatch side as well. Team Falcons is, they already, they're in the playoffs as well. So things are looking great. All right, thanks, guys. Thank
1,000
you.
points on the line.
Welcome back. It is key crushing day here, day 2 of the mid-season championships at EWC. AG against Virtus.pro for our first series. And Virtus.pro taking an early lead, a win on Lijiang Tower, as we see AG flipping the script here, going for a substitution. Jasmine in, Milgaru out.
Makes sense. Milgaru is their control specialist, the dive, even though I was kind of expecting to see the Hammond, but just decided to go with the Mirror to, of course, have a better brawl with Sunjun's Reaper that was used for a lot of that Lijiang Tower. But AG, that was their map pick, and now they get to pick it again because they lost to VP. Kind of maybe unexpected, maybe the Deska were onto something, but Jasmine is going to be a staple for AG, bringing a lot of those ground heroes, the Orisa, the Ram, kind of played more of the maps than Milgaru.
I can dig that. Yeah, Virtus.pro not subbing in Ice either, keeping Jaewoo in on the roster. As we go to those more brawly types where you really want to play sim, like any kind of flashpoint map, probably see that subbed in. Berserker Royale is going to be fun, I think. Virtus.pro kind of happy to go here as well, can play that double flex.
Yeah, Circuit, they beat Ultimates and Peps twice on this, but they got full held by Twisted Minds in a Game 5 during the stage. So interesting pick, excited to see that, especially on Circuit where Vestola kind of brings out his signature Sigma, and one of the few that still do so. A lot of the players think that it's weak in the meta just because you can go around the Sigma. It's a little bit more static than most tanks, but Vestola is the GOAT for a reason.
There's the map pool on your screens. There's a world I can call that Midtown for the hybrid. Midtown would be a very good map for Virtus.pro as well. Colosseo, Esperança, maybe we want to avoid it. We'll see where we go. Of course, this is first to 3. Yesterday we did some first to 2s, but back onto regular format here. I think Virtus.pro, like you mentioned, with Vestola being able to jump on that Sigma, he's going to be at home. And this was a map, this was a game type as well that they dominated with when they were at the top of the EU. I mean, they've been dominant for such a long time, and I think this map might be a little bit of a bait. I don't know, AG. If you're looking at the Team VP, there's one game type you probably don't want to go to and it's Circuit Royale and it is Escort, but we'll see how they end up pivoting with Jasmine.
Yeah, and AG, they beat Crazy Raccoon on Circuit Royale, so it's a very strong map for them, at least based on how they were in the regular season. They've picked this quite a few times. Excited to see what AG have cooked up. A lot of teams have been playing double flex support here, so we'll see if Lucio gets floated in the bans or not, which would obviously dictate if Juno's going to make an appearance once again.
Loving all the signs, dude. All the Virtus.pro fans in the crowd, we can definitely hear you. Don't worry about that. Fans went crazy yesterday, obviously, for teams like Twisted Minds, who will have another chance later on today. I believe that's on the B stream. But one more minute before we get into the map. Just waiting for a couple of players to join the lobby. And then we'll be rocking. I mean, look, rocking. I mean, Vestolo definitely will be. I think the Sigma, it's been a bit interesting to see the evolution, I think, of Circuit Royale, because historically you'd think it is a Sigma-only map. You permanently have to play it. You can't really play this kind of rush style, but as Sim has become more popular too, it's a bit easier to navigate. Plus the map rework as well, with a couple of extra entrances to that high ground on just before that first point.
For sure, and this is a great sim map but IceGnome, from what we know, Ice has not been subbed in, and that's been the Symmetra, or at least how they're trying to incorporate the Symmetra on the side of Virtus.pro, while Sunjun is trying to expand his hero pool. Yes, he was that flanker specialist back in the day, but picking up the Symmetra has been pivotal in this meta, so we'll see how that goes.
Got to continue these keyboard cams. We'll get a power ranking eventually. Keyboards.
It's that one, the keyboard that took all the buttons off.
On AG. Can't remember who it was though. There we go.
I like this one.
Thank you, cameraman. Mouse mats too as well, to be fair. Still getting Jasmine set up into the game. Is sat down. Everyone in his team is just looking at him. Make sure the sensor's okay. Okay, we're good. We're chilling? Okay, good.
So for Circuit, the lanes are very long, they're very narrow, there's not a ton of flank routes, so the Tracer isn't going to go as crazy, but this is why Sigma is so strong on this map. You put your shield up and you allow your Sojourn to keep those sightlines for longer and be comfortable. So we're looking towards the Shockwave and Aid matchup once again, where Vistola is going to be able to protect Shockwave potentially, but you know, your Sojourn's not always going to stick behind your tank, they're going to win it, maybe you want to fight for that statue side on point A, so Aid has to show up or this series is going to be over.
All right, Jasmine's in the lobby. We're about to jump into the second map, Virtus.pro versus AG, an elimination game. One of these teams will be crushing a key after this series. Virtus.pro with a good early lead. Rather close though, 2-1. Control center, of course, was taken by AG. We'll see what kind of comps VP want to run, but I've got a good feeling Gala is going to jump back onto that Alari. We saw some incredible captive suns yesterday from the likes of Ultraviolet.
And Vestola, of course, has been playing also the Orisa and the Ram. Jwoo brings out the Mei on defense, Jwoo Symmetra on the offense. Shockwave always sticks to the Sojourn, that's been his signature. They like to ban out the Freya, but speaking of those bans, AG wants to just abandon that Sojourn mirror, at least for this match, and Virtus.pro maybe wants to force an Orisa mirror.
Yeah, well, they could also just ban out the Ram to maybe even force the Sigma here too. I mean, it's a very good ban from Virtus.pro. AG, yeah. Shockwave, please, no more. No more first picks on Marker, please.
Put her down.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like, Sojourn, we were talking a lot about Freya earlier on in this stage, of course, when Freya was released, but Sojourn still is disgusting if you have a key sense of aim like Aid or Shockwave has. But, of course, with Sojourn ban, next best up is going to be that Freya. And Gala on the Alari. Yep, Vestola, lock in Sig. Ban the Ram, stop the rush, force the Sigma. This is Virtus.pro's wheelhouse.
I feel like, yeah, Mei has fallen out of favor a lot, and Symmetra's just looking stronger, more consistent. So I agree with Jwoo. Usually he only does this on offense, but this is going to be a better strat. Vestola on his signature. He has been a Sigma specialist for so long, and now coming into a single tank Overwatch, he has really showed up and expanded his hero pool. Now AG gonna maybe have Sunjun on the Venture to try and get below this shield and pressure the backline to get Vestola to turn around.
All right, Sigma mirrors, Jasmine. Also jumping on it. Rather easy to clear the turrets for Sunjun. Just one left click destroys all three there. This is the best thing you can do as the Venture. Just slowly but surely creep your way onto the high ground and force the positioning of players like Shockwave. When he hits that updraft, very easy to kind of tag him in the skies. Any additional damage that Sonjun can do can instantly set up AID with a take aim.
And there's a speed advantage with Lee Soo-min having the Lucio. The support's not touched in this matchup. You have free reign. AG could just run down Vestola. They're doing it right now.
There's no rock, though, for Jasmine, so the likelihood of you getting a kill there is pretty slim. Nice snipe from Jabru. That must have been a right click. Mixed with a couple extra shots, I'd imagine, from Shockwave. Good first start here from Virtus.pro holding this corner.
Yeah, it's going to be about breaking down Vestola, but he is very good at handling that pressure, and spacing is what's critical in the skill set of a good Sigma player. And Vestola, this is one of their best maps. They're going to know when to back up, when to give up that corner, because it's a risk and it's a trade-off.
AID taken to the skies again. Looking at Vestola right now, spotting Jwoo on Statue. Got a teleport there, though. That gets out of that pretty easily. Bonus already available to Shockwave. Sends one downtown, tries to tag Lee Soo-min, but doesn't get the connection. A lamp deployed to help with the window damage. Burrow for Sonjun, trying to scare people away, but Shockwave still on a good angle to make use of that window. Captive Sun, they've spotted Sonjun onto the side, and Captive Sun does end up connecting with one, but Lee Soo-min deploys the sound barrier just in time. A Flux also being thrown out by Jasmine, as Vestola crumples in a heap on the ground. AG with a team kill and the cap on first.
Very good counter window from Maka to try and get that space back. Yes, VP just went around the corner, but allowed AG to re-anchor towards the cart, and then the Sigmas took off. Vestola tried to go for the Gravitic Flux while his team was very low. I don't even know if he got to really pull that off. Jasmine showed him how it's done, and now you have AID looking for picks. You got Shockwave low, VP are going to be stuck. Barrier from Jwoo could allow them to just anchor towards the back of the point, but Sonjun's going to be proactive.
So nice tectonic shock. They're going to isolate Vestola, or at least try to. Grasp used by Vestola. They would have extra over health now as Virtus.pro. They do end up just barreling out of that choke point. And Jwoo's actually behind them right now with that teleporter. That's not where you want to be, Lee Soo-min, just trying to boop away. Jwoo away. Actually just ints on him with Sonjun. Bowler's shot goes wide for AID, but Jasmine just clocks Vestola for 6. And Virtus.pro, on, like I mentioned before, one of their best comps and best maps, getting run over as AG win that fight, and it's going to be a delayed, staggered touch here for Virtus.pro.
Super awkward. AG got behind VP. They kind of didn't know how to back up. They just were, VP were hoping for trades, and now they're hoping for one last fight. Vestola touches, but with a broken shield, for how long can they stay?
Oh. He was taking a lot of damage there, forced to burrow. Jasmine also just cowering in the corner, both windows deployed. See right now, AID and Sonjun taking just so much damage on the side, too afraid to peek. Gala and Shockwave, though, come up with the kills required.
Jasmine didn't have a healthy enough shield to face that window head on. Those were exchanged, and it's an important decision whether you want to hide away and kind of neutralize the fight or decide to fight in it and punish those utilizing that window. So Jasmine was a victim in that case, and trying to retake through the high ground advantage for VP is going to be very tough. Sound barriers are going to be pretty equal, and that's what we're looking forward to next fight.
Shockwave a nice tag onto Lee Soo-min. Sound barriers coming up for both Lucios. Same with these Fluxes. Sound barrier used very aggressively by AG. Fixer's also going to deploy his. Flux connects with one, I believe. Does slam Vestola back down, but Vestola's kind of chilling. The heals came in, the lamp was deployed by Gala. Jasmine now on the run down the staircase as they've lost their flanker in Sonjun. It's a good position for Virtus.pro to be in. Don't even need to use their Flux.
Yeah, I don't know about the tempo barrier there, and then Jasmine didn't wait for the barrier to actually expire, just saw a good group up, saw red in the eyes, and AG had to fall back, but what are we doing?
Bro, Lee Soo-min is in. Solo Flux on the BAP, trying to land on the head too, so the lamp can't be deployed. Beautiful stuff by Vestola. Don't call him a Sigma God for nothing, but AG were trying to Little C9 there, but I don't think it's going to happen. Sonjin is on the point, currently Burrow, but Jay-Woo is there with the pressure on the point, but he ends up getting taken out. That's going to be a cap. Despite the heroics from Vestola, AG still come away with it.
Yeah, VP spacing has been awkward at times. They overextended, just trying to farm up every kill they could, and AG punished them. Jasmine was low, and VP smelled blood in the water, and yeah. Now we move on with 2.5 minutes for AG. This is a good time bank, and it'll be a matchup of windows. Lots of nooks and crannies to hide, but AG are trying to set up for this power position here on the high ground so that their cart can more easily move over. Jay-Woo's on the Mei as well.
Oh yeah, El Clasico for Jay-Woo. It's a really good look on this point as well. This corridor is rather slim. Sonjin, they don't know where Sonjin is. Ninja health pack acquired there and a small dash away with the help of that perk from Gala. But Sonjin is in and he doesn't want to leave, refuses to be evicted. Virtus.pro, despite Jay-Woo being in that front line, popped Icebox, popped wall like super early. They just got to keep track of Sonjin, but they couldn't.
Such a good pin from Sunjun. You got Gala in a bad position. Jay-Woo forced Ice Block. That is a very good venture, but wait, Vestola punished.
Wow, everybody shot Sonjin in the same frame. Insta-kill on the venture. High ground control, though, for AG, so they're in a good spot. Flux, oh, a whiff from Jasmine. Twinkle toes there from Vestola, dodging around the pillar. AID, though, is at least been able to kill Shockwave, and Jasmine continues to hold this high ground. Booped up into the skies with a tank passive coming in clutch there. Doesn't get booped over the edge. But Jasmine is touching the spawn, forcing Gala to go heal back up. I think Jasmine's overstayed their welcome, though. Sonjin's back in the action, but Virtus.pro going to hold for now. AG with a minute in their time bank.
That's so tough. AG had so much momentum on their side. They needed to ride into point C. Sunju gets randomly picked. Maka's using window, I think, on the low ground. AG are on the high ground. They really got to be cohesive with this composition and play off the Sunjun dives. Jasmine's now on the Orisa to try and just maybe shoot down not only this Vestola shield. It's going to be hard to get around. Sunjun can go below it, of course. Ultimate's looking at AID to have a standout performance as they fight for the pool side. VP will have to give this up. AG need to be on also the same level of playing field, and Vestola is going to matrix away.
Use those hands pretty early too. This might be a good opening for AID to throw in the bolus. Awkward angle, but you can thread that one. Does end up connecting with Vestola there. A little bit of damage, but no instant kill. It's going to force positioning though with Sonjin. Goes for the burrow after using that tectonic shock, forcing people back into spawn. Sonjin's doing so much work right now, but Jasmine just doesn't have the help. Marker's in like the center of the straight, but they can't get there. Vestola whiffs the flux, but it honestly might not matter. An SCC overtime now as Jay-Woo puts the Blizzard on the point, lamp deployed. And this is where the push will end for AG. Nothing melting Jay-Woo right now. The burrow from Sonjin, no CDs left on the venture. Smacked in the face as Virtus.pro, they're going to hold as soon as they kill off Jasmine.
Just the clutch factor from VP is insane. You'll have one last barriers, which should be the nail in the coffin for VP to hold at C. And AG haven't had any picks in their favor, and respawn advantage is for VP. AG have to be careful with when they drop to the low ground. Jasmine did break line of sight on Maka, which had him killed. And if you have no tank for this push, you're cooked. Still a almost point C push is very solid.
Crowd very much behind Virtus.pro. A winnable map here as well would put them on match point. We'll call it a full completion. It was as close as it could be to that final checkpoint. The venture play from Sonjin has been marvelous, though, I must say. Again, just forcing that position on that first point. A lot of the time you're burrowing to the stairs, up to the high ground. Shockwave has to be a little bit more careful as well. Doesn't want to be caught out in the air. Flip sides, though, now. The Aramco side swap comes in as AG not running anything too tricky in the backline. At least Sumin sticking on the Lucio, of course, but Sonjin's going to rock the mate.
AG had moments where they were able to capitalize on the mistakes from VP in terms of positioning and spacing, able to get behind VP at moments where AG had no business winning some fights. They were escaping. They saw overextension, bit down on VP, and AG had moments where they could have rode momentum all the way to a point C cap, but just these picks. Vestola has been so clutch for VP. Now we look towards them to get to that box of victory, but it's all the way at the end of the map. That's not going to be an easy feat.
Oh. It was a damage boost as well. That probably would have been a kill if it was a headshot. Or close to, at the very least. All right, JWU on the Mei. So Mei versus Mei. Mirror comps for both sides.
Pretty important to mirror the Mei to make sure that your tank has the edge, or at least a more even playing field. You got to watch out for those Mei walls, and when you capitalize on those, wait for the broken shield, wait for the grasp to be used. Important cooldowns that these Meis have to mark.
Yep, and that's why JWU's stepping up now. Spots the grasp being used by Jasmine. A lot of the times in these comps, though, it is down to the Freyas finding the double taps on the back line. Taking a couple of left clicks, doesn't end up getting bolted by the right click. Oh, but Sonjin's so low. Goes for like a small flank angle there, hoping to get a couple of right clicks off. They zoom in, Deads. They do trade for Fixer, but it's not looking too clean here for AG.
Yeah, Sunjun can't be playing this like a Tracer. You're definitely not as mobile on the Mei, and thought that VP were on the back foot with how low they were. And even if that fight didn't end because of Sunjun, it was gonna end because of GAL. He's like at a 30% advantage, or 25, I guess, for Window. And now they're gonna have this for the next fight, along with the Sound Bearer, which, depending on how they layer, VP could make a real fast run for point B if AG are not careful.
Probably want to go early with the Window here. Make a wide swing out onto the straight. However, Flux does end up hitting. It's the Mei, though, of all people. Don't even need to use the lamp for that. They deployed it anyway, just in case. Sound Barrier for Fixer now, not having to fear the Flux from Jasmine. Can they actually force positioning here? The window from GAL is going to be good to force Jasmine back a little bit. But the fight currently happening in the small staircase by the looks of it. Jasmine finds two in no man's land, however, as Virtus.pro welcome AG into their domain and win back-to-back fights as they move on to second.
Yeah, that was looking sketchy. Vestola, I was like, where is Vestola? Oh yeah, he's just at the front. AG dropped off the highway and nailed down on Gala. And if you kill the bat, that's a ton of heals gone, and Vestola and Shockwave still pulled through. They'll need another fight, though, to cap point B. They got plenty of time to do so. Window and barrier advantage for AG, though.
Two bowlers come out. No resulting kills, though. You can Flux, force the Sound Barrier, then hit the Blizzard. That might be the game plan here for Virtus.pro, or the other way around, to be fair. There's the Flux. Where's the connection? Rock misses from Jasmine. Looking at the backline right now. Lijiang is so low. An instant barrier pop there, fearing for his life. Fixer ends up going down. Vestola in the backline now as the Blizzard separates the team. JWU frozen in place, and Blizzard Jacks, actually. I'm not sure where JWU's went. 3.5 minutes still in the time bank, though, for VP. They've looked good up until this point. AG, they hold them for now.
Yeah, I think they were layered on top of each other. Not 100% sure, but Vestola also lived way longer than he should have. He isolated himself and just couldn't find his way back to his team, and AG were caught in the chaos of Blizzards and an overextending Sigma, but it's going to be an uphill battle for VP to get back up, especially with all the ults invested. We're looking at an advantage of Gravitic Flux on the side of Jasmine. With we'll see if the barrier from Fixa is online in time to save them.
Oh, Marco's taking a lot. Marco almost got two tapped there by Shockwave in the back line. Actually use that shift, that regenerative burst to heal himself back up again. They're trying to force the issue right now. Vestola does end up landing in the rock as that window is looking rather deadly. Fixer snipes Sonjin. It's kind of disastrous. Losing your Mei this early. JWU's going to have such a free time. Flux for Jasmine results in absolutely squat. They force him under that tent. And look at Marcus' position too. I mean, this is just all crumbling for AG. Virtus.pro are going to make this a clean one. Just throw the Sound Barrier in just to guarantee themselves the checkpoint. And a 3-minute and 50-second time bank.
Yeah, Sunjun has to be careful where he extends as the Mei, because once you ice block, you're obviously not moving, and then your team has to decide whether to sacrifice you to the gods or to try and bail you out. So they let Sunjun die, but 4v5 was going to be so tough to turn around. Vestola just began farming them. So now Sunjun will be back to the Mei after considering the Symmetra after he just tried to recontest and get back quickly. But Virtus.pro in the driver's seat. Gravitic Flux will be online before the Sound Bear, which could make all the difference.
Please step through the door, please. Nice little wall there. Stops Jasmine just for a brief second. In fact, a window is going to get deployed by Marcus. Still got the lamp, has to hold on to it. But this is a really awkward angle. Will Virtus.pro be able to capitalize on the BAP? I don't think they can. Ends up fluxing it, but yeah, it didn't matter in the end. As Jasmine kind of got walled off, a window came through for Marcus, so they couldn't like re-peek with the fear of just getting a headshot by the May or somebody else. Trying to stagger out Jaewoo, but to the rescue come the supports.
Looking for the grasp from Jasmine, that's when you're going to throw out the Blizzard. But AG are also on the high ground. They're split up. They know this Blizzard's coming, so they don't all want to be caught in it. And look for this immortality from Maka to also save things. Soundbear if things get hairy from Lee Soo-min. Oh, it picks like that. Who cares?
Okay, double headshot maybe there from Sonjin. All right, quick reset for Virtus.pro. What a clean fight. AG are going to just try and go for this, though. Three-person Graviton and Flux. Lamp comes in to save. Nice little counter-rock there, actually, from Virtus.pro. Ends up getting frozen as well, does Jasmine, but instantly unfroze. That tank passive coming in clutch. Uses the hands, that grass to absorb all that damage through the window. And they've turned this one on its head. Virtus.pro, they end up losing the window and the Blizzard in that fight for not much gain.
Yeah, just Jasmine not wanting to let them escape and just force the respawn timers up and buy more time. But not only that, they forced so many ults out of VP, the Blizzard window and everything. Now beat advantage for VP, but against the Blizzard from Sungjun, AG really want to bait VP into a group up for this Blizzard to hit.
Yeah, the Blizzard and the Lamp are just going to block people off, and Virtus.pro use that sound barrier. Vestola's in trouble, though. He's right in the middle of the battlefield right now, and the scars on his face are going to tell you the entire story. Vestola ends up getting headshot by Sonjun as Marco just gently peeking this corner. He's at high ground this entire fight, but Jaewoo somehow comes up with the goods for Virtus.pro. Just so accurate with the right clicks. It's a 3-on-3 on the corner, but Virtus.pro have taken the position away from AG.
Okay, wall's not going to connect, but you're seeing progress though from VP. Wait, Sungjun is isolated. Jaewoo's identified this, the ice block. You need to see Jasmine bail him out.
This is the most insane 1v1 of all time in that little theater room back there, the old spawn. Sungjun wins it too. Jasmine and the rest of the gang ends up collapsing on in. Flux though for Vestola hits Jasmine square in the jaw. Marco jumping up to the high ground, but they still need to deal with AID in the backline. A rock connects, and Gala with a final blow takes down the Freya. 30 seconds to go as VP make their final assault on that golden box of victory.
Yeah, Sungjun will come up to the Blizzard. This is going to be important to try and stall this out for VP. The window is going to force AG to the perimeter.
Beautiful rock. An amazing rock from Vestola. Stops that grass coming out. The Blizzard's going to separate the team. Gala is in such a good spot. He's not a support. He's a DPS right now. Even taking the 1v1 versus the Freya on the high ground. Sonjun, desperation time to try and touch the point as VP crush AG on Circuit Royale.
Ooh, that got close in the end, beating AG on both their map picks. And the Sigma mirror and everything, you mirror the May, everything didn't come down to the Freyas, came down to the mistakes that broke down. AG had to pick on whether they wanted to bail out Sungjun when he would ice block out of position. Try to play these off angles a little too much. VP on match point. We'll see how this ends after this.
I normally do. Do or die time now for AG as Virtus.pro takes Circuit Royale. And AG, they sent us there. Like, it was their map pick. They sent us to Virtus.pro with Vestola on the lineup, playing the Sigma when they banned the Ram. Like, that was a risky endeavor. It's their chance to choose a map once again. As we get a substitution coming in for AG. That'll be Milgaru coming back, Jasmine taking a seat. As we go to a push map, Esperança is going to get selected.
Yeah, just very bold for AG to also mirror the Sigma. Just thinking that the Orisa was not going to be able to, they weren't going to have enough shield break. You couldn't get around Vestola. You brought in Name to try and isolate him. And it's just not a composition that AG were as experienced in, at least compared to VP. So, but AG had beaten Crazy Raccoon on this map, so they obviously had the results to back, but AG, it's their potential final map pick of the whole tournament. This is an elimination match. Key is on the line. Milgaru on Esperança could be seeing the dive, but of course, that is his specialty. He's of course able to play the Brawl, which would be the safer play if the Ram gets floated.
Don't think there's any changes here for Virtus.pro with JWoo still in. Push makes sense here. You don't really want to run the sim permanently, so JWoo on Tracer is going to be the name of the game. There are the stats from last map. Or sorry, that will be both maps combined, I'd imagine. 140 limbs to 94. Similar damage. KDA for Virtus.pro though. You expect that, a little 2-0 already. VP are going to be happy. They win this confidence builder, but then they face one of the scarier teams in the bracket. Obviously, Falcons have already gone through to the playoffs, but Weibo Gaming will stand in their way of booking their ticket. Again, keys on the line all of today. 8 teams are going to have their dreams crushed at the hands of the press.
And Group A has been touted as the group of death. Falcons, Weibo, Virtus.pro, and AG. And it was going to be really tough. It all depended on how much you respected China's #1 in Weibo, how much respect you give into EMEA, and of course the Korean region with AG. And a lot of people had, at least before this tournament started, had AG on top, probably coming out of this group, depending on, of course, your bias towards Weibo. But VP being ahead in this series, I think is surprising, but the desk thought AG did not show up as best as they could yesterday, and that's kind of translating into today a little bit. Yeah, it's worth pointing out too, the desks were a little bit split here and there, but I think a lot of the audience, I'd imagine, although to be fair, VP fans, I can definitely hear you in the crowd, but AG have been more the favorites in this group. It was a battle for that top 2 spot. We know Weibo was going to be an extremely tough opponent. Not an unorthodox like style of play, like their meta read. We know there's going to be little ball, little dive, little hazard, a lot of Winston from Gouchway potentially. Falcons, they do end up going through. To no one's surprise, this Group A is just so deadly. I mean, you look at, imagine being loaded into this, you're like, okay, well, okay, we know Falcons are going through, battle for second, I suppose. This is their last chance. I mean, AG, how do you feel right now if you're them, Lennon? Feel really bad when your map picks are not going your way. You can't even start on a good note when it comes to just the control map as the higher seed. But Esperança, AG did play VP played this against Weibo yesterday, and they had Ice Gnome come in on the tank playing the Hazard, but they lost this 133-79 with the Sojourn Tracer Hazard Lucio Kiri comp. So VP had a chance to maybe close out at that series and maybe even not be in this elimination scenario, but Vestola is still in, and he's, I think, been on fire this series.
It's a little worrying too if you are AG as well. Like, okay, we've already seen you play this map. We know Ice comes in, or at least we think we know, but now Vestola is the mainstay for this map. It's probably a little bit more of an Orisa type game, a little Ram game. Milgaru just loading into the lobby now. I just saw him join, so we will be in this map in just a moment. Virtus.pro's key there, of course, on the line, but they're sitting pretty. 2-0 lead. You just got to finish this one out.
Yeah, when it comes to flashpoints, AG, Milgaru, as much as I love his Hammond and his dive, the Orisa will be the flavor du jour, with Sunjun coming on the Symmetra. At least that's what they do on Runesabi and how they look so strong. And of course, which hit scan is that going to be affected by the bans? We got a Lucio Winston ban. So Lucio from AG, Winston from VP, wanting to avoid any potential die from Milgaru, but also no speed. Is that are we gonna see double flex? Do we care about Juno here?
Yeah, that's a really interesting ban from AG, banning that Lucio. Because we know VP are more than happy to play double flex. Really slow kind of comps, like can play Kiriko, Juno, like Bap, Kiri, Alari.
VP are very attached to their Lucio. I mean, they have 2 Lucio players with Gala and Fixa, where Fixa's now taking over that role. Gala's had to develop more flex supports in the past year or so, so taking away a lot of that speed is going to make those rotations difficult, maybe more depending now on the Symmetra to do so.
Oh man, I would love to see it. I would love to see an Ana from Gala, but a little bit of a fool's errand sometimes, especially when D.Va's still available. Although, to be fair, if you're expecting a Hazard, Ana pretty damn good against it. Actually, it looks like they're going to rock out with it. Okay. Ana, Fixer, speed ringing out of the spawn. Ana Kiri for both sides. Milgaru on the Hazard. And then Jaewoo and Sonjun. This is the DPS matchup. I want to see this map. These Tracers going head-to-head. Jaewoo, a true superstar in the making. And if I had to make a bold prediction, definitely would be Jaewoo being one of the best Tracer players in the next couple of years.
Yeah, Sunjun has to make up for what happened on Circuit, and AD and Shockwave are going to face up on different hit scans. Shockwave definitely rocked on Lijiang Tower, but AD could be assisted, but no, Vestola has no Matrix. He's broken down.
Yeah, got donked on, actually. Yeah, the Hazard is so good against the D.Va as well. You can just punish her so much. The idea here is just to get on top of the backline, of course, and Hazard has been... was the flavor of the month, feels like a couple of patches ago. Against the Ana. The Ana is very good at kind of sleeping as soon as that spike guard goes up, of course, with how slow you are moving. It's up to Vestola, obviously, to eat all those nades, but a very early fight win for AG and a tough map to re-attack into, especially with that high ground.
The Nano choice is going to be interesting. Usually given to tanks, but at a moment's notice, Jaewoo and Sunjun, if they're at the right position at the right time, they could just dismantle a backline at a moment's notice. So it's going to be important for those Suzus. Maybe if you're insane, hit a sleep on a Tracer, but very difficult to do. A lot of damage on the VP side, but Vestola, I guess, punishes in the tank war.
Dude, where is Blood going? Milgaru was just, he went through window, VP like triple collapsed on him, and yeah, just caught out. Yeah, Vestola, you saw in the player cam there, just kind of rocking his head to the side, just surprised that he lost his mech. Couple of small mistakes there, both from the tanks on each side. Bot reset into the mid, but Sonjun picks up a stick kill on Tagala. Pulse bomb used, and Virtus.pro turned early and running right now as AG are going to be able to get back to the point quicker.
Kitsune Rush and Nano, these are great ultimates for AG to extend this even more. They just have to be careful of the flank on the right side where that pack is, but after scouting that out, Sunjun has to mark the flank as well, keep their supports safe on this top bridge. Now you know where Jaewoo is, so Lee Soo-min has to be careful, and already has to Suzu Maka.
Ooh! Opposum got launched into the skies. Good Suzu there from Lee Soo-min, stopping Jaewoo, having a Maka for lunch. Checkpoint already unlocked for AG.
Very good awareness from AG. Milgaru slept though.
Oh, Nanoboost actually deployed onto Vestola. Same with Milgaru. A perfectly timed Suzu cleanses everybody, and they even get the D-suit. This is just torture for Vestola right now. The bot has been stolen, however, so they can't make any more progress.
Yeah, there's only so much Matrix and so much you can do at a distance. D.Va's definitely going to thrive in that short to mid-range, but without the speed and with all this poke coming in from the Hazard and everyone having this fly of a Tracer always around you, Vestola's struggling. This is his best hero, though, so now he's trying to just pressure back the Tracer. Here is Shockwave.
Oh, good wall. Shockwave actually just completely denied. He has the smallest gap to fire through, but basically wasted the entire ult. Double shot onto AD, but it doesn't matter. Shockwave just getting harassed in the front line. Even the downpour even sent towards his way. Milgaru descending from the heavens there to exercise his demons as Shockwave. There's now AG still with the lead. Sonjin trying to maybe even connect this pulse bomb onto one of the supports. Good matrix there from Vestola. Sonjin's days are numbered without that recall. Ends up just backing off.
JWU is a solid carry for VP right now. Vestola is also getting picks, so VP though need a cleaner fight win so they can actually build momentum. We'll see if they can catch up here. Bridge control gonna be forced off.
Milgaru on the ball now too. An even more destructive force compared to that Hazard. Really punishing for the backline. You can see Fixer obviously switching over to the Kiriko for a little more sustained survivability compared to the Ana. JWU finding the first blood in this fight though. Virtus.pro up now, one player. JWU finds another. It's exactly why I want to keep eyes on this guy right here. They still need to get this checkpoint though, but Milgaru shouldn't be too hard to kind of deal with. All the bullets being eaten up by the Matrix. Now a semblance of control for Virtus.pro. And a manual hack there on to Vestola as AD switched over to the Sombra. So a lot of compositional swaps of both teams.
It's been huge for Milgaru to also force all these Suzus out of Fixa. Now Vestola is stuck. Just trying to anchor the card as best as they can. Kitsune rush advantage for Fixa.
Yeah, I really like that rush there. It's going to make sure Milgaru can't stay around for too long. But Maka and Sonjin off screen take out Fixer and Shockwave. Vestola does end up going pretty low, gets desuited, but a couple of Bunny Blaster shots deals with Maka. This is an absolute bloodbath here on AG's side of the map. The bot is eventually taken by Vestola again, but this isn't going to get checkpoint, not with Milgaru waiting in the wings.
At least Vestola will have a better time trying to chase down Milgaru, especially if you pick up the heavy rockets. You'll blow him up real good, but Milgaru is swift. He's one of the better Hammonds that we have in the league, and he's got mines. He could be able to deny the card at any time.
Yeah, it's going to be so difficult to kill Milgaru. Actually, just going to mines the backline. Sonjin now sets sights on to JWU. His backline gone from very aggressive with the Ana to ultra defensive. Juno and Brig. Sonjin now looking for Fixer. This pulse bomb's going to be rather scary. Sonjin on his tail. Fixer goes down to Lee Soo-min. Ray deployed by Gala, but Antis, who has to play safe. AG running rings around Virtus.pro right now as Gala looking for someone to heal. There's no one in his sights. Jumps to the skies, but AG are running rings around them. Virtus.pro, they can't even find a single target to shoot at, man.
You'll be able to see some progress from AG. This has shades of E1 with how much of an impact Milgaru is able to have.
Oh, shades of FRD there, just getting perma-staggered. They're going to extend their lead past the checkpoint now, Lemon.
Yeah, and you got the EMP and the pulse bomb. VP won't have an answer. You got to keep Shockwave safe from Milgaru as best as you can, and JWU needs to chase down Milgaru if he gets low, and if you can get enough damage into him.
There is the Translocator available now to AD. Has managed to get out of there. This EMP is going to be deadly. Looking for Vestola. A manual hack might just do it. No, goes for the EMP instead. Vestola going to need a lot more than ibuprofen to cure this headache. That is AD right now. Lee Soo-min does end up going down though to Fixer. An aggressive push and a punish onto Vestola's mech, but where is the collapse? Still though, AD just tickling the backline. With that SMG, takes down Gala, and more time they can burn off the bank, the better for AG.
Yeah, AD has just become the ace. You got, of course, the flank specialist of Sonjin on his best hero. Milgaru's forcing cooldowns. VP don't have any answer to this dive, and AD is making sure that VP cannot group up.
Get this man out of there. It's so frustrating, and look at the ult charge from AD already. Only just used EMP, back up to 50%. Milgaru takes the bot from the mid.
Trying to group up for this rally. VP get it back to the neutral point, but Milgaru, all these fights, gross!
A little stun there. Mine still get deployed. Rally, though, from Fixer. This is, well, we're just going to leave you alone here. A nice little anti-nade connects with Gala and the Brigitte. Milgaru does manage to get out. Sliver of health remains, but no kills, and they force this rally.
VP need back-to-back fights, but they're facing a Kitsune rush, and Gala doesn't have his yet.
Bomb available from Virtus.pro. Oh, that post bomb. Okay, Vestola, he gets back into mech this time, but for how long Can he actually survive? Milgaru trying to take down Shockwave, but they're protecting the president with their lives. Marker, Nano deployed, and a small stagger on the Ana now. This is exactly what VP need.
Great Matrix from Vestol to save Shockwave when everyone was collapsing on him, and VP won that fight with Nano and Kitsune Rush invested. AG are now on the hazard. VP are right around the corner.
EMP, though, 3% away for AID. Golden line of victory being approached as well. They don't know where this Sombra is either.
Trying to split each other up. This EMP after Shockwave dodges the virus.
Perfect. AID still got the EMP though. They're closing on in. This might be a perfect one as well. Does hit the Kiriko, dodges the virus, but Shockwave to the rescue. Rolls out the window, flashbang, hits AID, a stick from Jwoo as well. Marker down. A golden line of victory looking easy now for Virtus.pro. They're going to take that lead. One player to deal with. Milgaru goes down, and it's all falling apart for AG now.
They had no business winning this. They had no answer to the dive until Jwoo came alive. Vestola stabilized, protected Shockwave, and VP are heading to the end.
Pulse Bomb is the only thing they've got left as well. Maybe a manual hack onto Vestola, but Sonjun needs to come up with the biggest pulse bomb of his career right now to keep themselves alive in the groups. A nice anti-nade onto Fixer, but he can't quite get him. Sonjun sent to the skies, forced to recall, and AID has already gone down. What was that pulse bomb, Sonjun? Over the top, kills the rally, but overtime is ticking down. They got a touch. They eventually get OT though.
And AG don't have supports. There's no one there to touch. It's over. VP. They sweep AG.
A 3-0 from VP. A team come in and everybody's like, hey, AG, they're taking maps off of Crazy Raccoon. Some of these top teams, their dreams, their key is now crushed at the hands of Virtus.pro. A 3-0 affair as well. A dominant showing. You go to Circuit Royale, you go to Virtus.pro's and Vestola's domain. You get crushed as Virtus.pro. They continue their run in the groups. Weibo Gaming is their next opponent. They're still on their final lifeline, but that chance in playoffs is looking a little closer.
And China are the masters of dive, and Virtus.pro employed the Diva, and just there's two ways to play it, as a peel and as someone who dove. Vestola was getting punished diving after this Ana, trying to get the supports uncomfortable, then decided to just protect Shockwave, protect his backline. Vestola saved Matrix for those. They deathballed, they swapped their comp, and Virtus.pro turned this whole map around in the last 30 seconds. I don't think a lot of people expected VP to take this series in the way they did in a 3-0 against the third seed from Korea. This is insane. This is the rebuild of VP. They were at EWC last year with Shockwave and Gala. They went to playoffs going perfect in groups. It won't be perfect this time, but damn, do they look strong.
They could definitely hold their heads high now. It's going to be a tough road ahead against Weibo. They've got time to prepare though. Rest, relax. Just make sure their head is in the game. They want to make it out of playoffs. Show, look, maybe we didn't come first or second seed in EMEA, but we are here and we mean business. We're going to jump down to the stage now. Zoe is with Vestola.
I am indeed.